Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Episode. Here I got a fun and extra video for you guys this Friday evening because you didn't think I was going to let the holiday season go by without doing something extra fun, did you? And if you know anything about me or the channel or my Discord, we absolutely love Konami arcade games. The weirder and more obscure the better, and when it comes to Gashaaan, it is about as weird and obscure as it gets. I'm assuming 99 out of 100 people have never heard of this game before, and 100 out of 100 of you have probably never actually seen a cabinet. That is because it was a Japanese exclusive air quotes light gun game where you actually threw balls at the screen to hit targets. It has now been pivoted over by Argon to work on Windows PCs with mouse, and that's something that was done as well with the Castlevania arcade game that we talked about earlier on the channel. And big thanks to a lot of different members from my Discord. They didn't want to be named, but on my Discord we do a lot of things like hunting down these things and getting them pivoted to be able to control on Windows PC for preservation purposes and so that you can actually experience them. Big thanks to Lance Charlson as well, the person that always puts these on archive. That's where you're going to find it. But honestly, this is another quote-unquote lost Konami arcade game that if you ever see a cabinet for, you will absolutely throw money into it because the odds of you seeing it again are basically impossible. And if you can't see the comparison already, this is very much like Point Blank. I am using the mouse right now and capturing this with OBS to be able to control the game. It basically has the same vibes as Point Blank, where it's a party light gun game where you have to complete challenges, and you can do this as a 4-player experience as well. Me being a single person right now because my wife's at work, I didn't have a second set of hands to do 2-player. But this game is just weird and insanely fun. It reminds me a lot of Katamari Damacy with some Point Blank mixed in the graphical stylings and gameplay elements. It is super easy to pick up and play, and unfortunately you can't really throw the plastic balls at your computer screen. I would advise against that. If you damage it, it's not my problem. All jokes aside, moving this over to mouse makes perfect sense. How it works is you go through progression of levels competing against other people and a timer, and they're all challenge based. You need to do a certain thing in the level to be able to complete the goal, just like you would in a Point Blank style game. Of course, it's all going to be in Japanese. I've not figured out yet how to change the language, but I'm sure a lot of you, as you start to play this, will find out things I didn't know whatsoever. But it's going to give you a preview of what you're supposed to do, and then let you into the actual level to be able to do it. My aim was off there, and unfortunately that rat met his maker by the hands of that gigantic elevator weight with spikes on the bottom. Kind of feels like something out of an Indiana Jones show. But that's going to be the fun of this game. You're going to be able to go through all of the different stages, all of the different courses, learn what's expected of you, and be able to compete for high scores and best times. The other thing is this is just another example of a Konami arcade game that now will live a very long life for whoever wants to enjoy it, because again, this was not exactly the biggest hit when it came out in the mid-2000s, and it's definitely not a game that you're going to see many places whatsoever. On the offhand chance you know where there is a Gashaaan cabinet, leave me a comment down below because I would be curious. I'm going to do this a little earlier in the video, then I'm going to teach you how to actually use the controls on this, but go ahead and listen to the soundtrack for like 45 seconds or so. It is absolutely absurd and wild, and I'll be right back. It's just a wacky soundtrack, but Konami always made great arcade and video game soundtracks, and Gashaaan here is no different whatsoever. And honestly, I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that right. It would probably be more like Gashaaan with all the A's that they put in the title. But you will see, obviously if you can't tell already, this runs in an ultra-wide format. So this is the original aspect ratio. I ran this in a window just for my ease of use of capture, but you can run it full screen as well. And I do have an ultra-wide monitor. I actually have 2 of them, 3440 by 1400, and it is the exact perfect aspect ratio you need for something like this. But you can change up the aspect ratio to use different size screens and to be able to pivot different looks for the game. And I'm going to get into how you actually are going to play this right now, because Lance Charlson popped up this launcher_v4.exe, which was made by Argon. You're going to put that in the same folder that you see the boot.bat file, and depending on your login permissions, you may need to run it as administrator. You will get this Gashaaan launcher to pop up, and you'll see we have full screen, original, as well as custom resolutions. You can fill the screen or keep the original aspect ratio, and you can do borderless window, yes or no. I use mode 1 for the controls. The left mouse button is going to be your fire, and everything else, the start buttons, the test service, and coin are going to be here. And you do need to hit the test button on initial boot. It's going to give you a backup RAM error. Just go ahead and hit 0 and it'll bypass that and get you right into the game. And once you hit run, you are playing Gashaaan. And big thanks to Argon as well. He's the one that helped get all of the Castlevania arcade games controlled and pivoted over to using a mouse, Wiimote, or otherwise on PC. And obviously a lot more people knew about Castlevania Arcade than are going to know about Gashaaan, but his work has been invaluable. And again, everyone else on my Discord that has helped with stuff like this, a big thank you to them, because that's what we do over on Discord. Of course, we talk about channel updates and stuff, but we also do a lot of stuff on arcade projects like Gashaaan here. It is so much fun, and there's a ton of people that love to help out trying to find stuff and make them work. But again, as a game, Gashaaan is just such a wild time, and it absolutely has that Konami mid to late 2000s vibe going on. Whether you've played any of their games from that era or not, they definitely went hard on the weird, and Gashaaan is probably the brass wing of the weirdness. As we move over to the 5th level here, every single stage has a different hook to it. Sometimes you're just doing rapid fire with the mouse, sometimes you're trying to actually target things specifically to be able to bypass, and you'll see here that you get different coin amounts depending on how well you do and who you are competing against. And at the end, they do a running tally, and you either win the trophy or you end up in 4th place. But on this level right here, you need to shoot the food to feed the cat, which is not hard at the start, but you'll see here suddenly things that aren't supposed to be eaten, like whatever the hell that thing is, are going to start falling down. There's going to be grenades and other things that you need to avoid, and you need to hit the cake or sushi items to be able to feed the cat. So it's a very fast-paced action game in the same style of Point Blank, except made by Konami and not Namco. And I know so many people love these games, and the next time you have a party game night, maybe over the holidays, load up Gashaaan and give it a go. All you need to do is have some mice with you and a couple of buttons on your keyboard, and 4 players are going to be competing against each other in one of the weirdest games ever. And again, the art style, the music, everything about this game just screams fun, and that's why I love these things so much. I've never seen a Gashaaan cabinet in life, but now I can enjoy it with my friends anytime I want to. And that's the great thing about projects like this, and the Castlevania Arcade one as well. It allowed people to play games that they've never seen before and have definitely been lost, because again, if you know where there's a cabinet for this one, I would be very curious. But I just love this game that I've had a chance to check it out, and this next level is a ton of fun. You're going to be seeing all these fireworks shoot into the air, and you need to hit them and they will burst. The more you hit, the better your score. It is such a simple thing to do execution wise, but it's just so much fun. And again, I love the graphical stylings of this era of Konami. They're colorful, they're cute, they're vibrant, and again, an incredible soundtrack. I'm going to give you one more taste to come back and talk a little bit more about the project, what Gashaaan means, what we might be working on next, but go ahead and enjoy because it is just that good. The music's just so cheery, it always makes me smile when I play it, and I'm just going through some of the first sets of challenges in this game as well. There will be more to see and do, and I believe it should hold your high scores as well, because this is just running off a PC. If you ever played Asteroids before, you're going to get big vibes here, or if you've ever played Point Blank before, this is very similar to when the volcano level starts shooting out rocks of magma out towards Dr. Dan and Dr. Don. Super simple concept, super hard in execution. Make sure you hit every single asteroid before they hit your character, and of course, in the different test menus, you can increase the difficulty or ease it up as well, just depending on how you want to play the game. But the great thing is you can play Gashaaan today, and that is what I love doing about this channel, not just talking about rare hardware or showing you guys FPGA stuff, it's being able to share the joy and fun of something weird like Gashaaan. Now everyone can enjoy it and play it themselves, so one last time, big thanks to Argon for pivoting the controls, and big thanks to members of my Discord for helping with things like this. I am not a one-man operation, I do require and rely on a lot of different help from a lot of different people to be able to do this stuff, and because it is Christmas, what better time to do it than then? Or if you're celebrating Hanukkah, also a great time to play Gashaaan. And I love this right here, this gigantic fireball. This asteroid just comes down and you need to hit it 40 times within the time period before it destroys the entirety of Earth and your little cat character as well. But we were able to save him, we saved the world, and we saved Gashaaan in one way or another. So again, if you want to play this game, just check out Archive and look for the title. It should be there now, and I showed you earlier in the video how to make sure you can know how to play it. So if you skipped over that, definitely go back to around the 4-minute and 30 mark. It will be there. But a big happy holidays to everybody here. This was something that I really hoped I was able to do before the end of the year, and we were able to do it. So that means it's time to find something new and fun to hunt for in 2024. You never know what we'll do, but you'll have to see it when it happens. Short of that, see you guys next time. Bye bye.